turnover tax, it is final. So come the end of the year, ati kuna pesa ingine unalipa, hapana. Then kuna kitu ingine inajiita VAT. VAT is value addition. So any value you earned on a particular product. So umekuja kwangu, you buy mango, umeconvert imekuwa juice, si ndio? So once you add that value, then you are supposed to pay that VAT on that one. So there is an input in ile ulitumia kununua, and there is output now. The one now you have charged. So the difference is what you pay to KRA. So ndio inaitanga value additional tax. So those you are supposed to do it on a monthly basis. Then kuna hii tunafaa kufanya on an annual basis. And this on an annual basis, ni kila mtu ako na pin. Whether umekuwa ukilipa hiyo rental tax, umekuwa nini, you are supposed to pay that one. In case you have no other business, or maybe in case you have a pin, you don't have any business you are undertaking, you can file a new tax. Na KRA ni kama wanataka kumalizana na hiyo kitu. Wanataka kila mtu wako Kenya alipe tax, si ndio? At least there is something you are doing. Haiwezi ukakuwa ati uko Kenya, there is nothing you are doing, you are contributing nothing to the government, si ndio? Ndio Kibaki alikuwa anatuita nini? So this annual return, according to the individual, supposed to file that return annual basis. Na ina depend na pahali mwaka yako ulisema inaanzia. Inaishia, sorry. So in case you indicated your year is at that 1st December, so by 30th June you are supposed to have filed the same. In case ulichagua mwaka, then by that 1st December you are supposed to have filed that return. And in case you don't file, there is penalty. I think for individual is something to do with, I think roughly 2,000 there. For company, I think it's more like 20,000. Yes. So anybody who is an employee, kama umeajiriwa, whether the government, private sector, you are supposed to file that annual return. In case you own business, file the annual return. In case you are a company, file that return. In case you are in a partnership, so in Kenya, you can maybe operate business either as an individual, as a partner pahali mnashikana watu wawili ama watatu. You start a business, that is what we refer. The other aspect you can have is company. So in all those aspects you can have is company. So in all those aspects, whether you are operating business or anything else, whether you have rental income, you are supposed to file return. But the bottom line there is, in case you have a PIN, kama ulienda kwa KRA, you applied for a PIN, ensure by that 30th June, kama your financial year at that 1st December, umemalizana na hiyo. To do as an employee, you are supposed to go to your employer and you debug that P9. But the beauty with nowadays, we are in technology now. As you file your return, you are employee. Eda pale kuna kitu inajiita already populated. KRA imekufanyia hiyo kazi. In case you are employee, usisubuke na hiyo kitu. Just download, ukisha login in the system, just download what the KRA have already populated for you. In case you are also a company, you have been doing this one through the system, don't bother siku hizi ati kushida ukiweka kila kitu, hapana. What you have already inputted in the tax system, it's already populated in an Excel sheet. So you are supposed to download that one ukague kama ile kitu inaongea ni ya ukweli. After that one now you can upload and you do your end-year return. So at least KRA they have simplified this aspect of annual return. So we have agreed in case you don't have any income, you file nil return. Yeah. And I don't think that one, sidhani hiyo inasumbua watu. So currently wameleta kitu inajiita the Electronic Tax Invoice Management System, eTIMS. So eTIMS is a software, or sometimes you can even buy your own and you install, which now is compatible with the KRA. So with eTIMS, those people who are in business ensure as you buy good from the supplier, umewapatiwa your PIN. You give them your PIN, such that when they generate that invoice, already that invoice in a reflect in your PIN. Because anything currently outside eTIMS, you won't be able to claim. Nowadays, wametupatia a room for manual, where you can be able to scan. But this year 2026, that room is no more there. For last year, those who have not done for the business, you have a particular room where you can be able to do for manual. The only tax aspect is you have to get all those invoices as iko kwa eTIMS, you scan and you attach. And there is a particular Excel sheet which you are supposed to now to download and put a summary of all those manual invoices, or maybe any other receipt, or those any support document, then you upload. But from this year, in case you are a company, in case you are church, you pay tax. Ensure hata ukienda kukunywa mafuta in any petrol station, give them the PIN of your business. Kama biashara umefungua individually, ukienda kukunywa mafuta, waambie wapatie PIN yako, ndio ikuwe populated direct in your tax register. Hapo sijui tunaelewana? Yes. Because this aspect of manual document is normal. So you can buy software from your head. Equally, you can go back, you can go into their KRA and you can be able to download that system. With your laptop, you can be able to download that one and you can be able to start using that eTIMS invoice. Hapo tumeelewana? So the other area I was supposed to tackle is capital gain tax. Capital gain tax. So when you're talking of the capital gain tax, it is what you have gained. It is a tax on what you have gained. Let us assume maybe unafanya kazi ya kuuza maybe magari, si ndio? So umekuja kwa particular individual, umenunua gari 300,000, umeenda umeuza hiyo gari 400,000, si ndio? Your gain is 100,000. So that is a gain. It is normally based on assets. It's normally based on assets. And most of these assets, kuna kitu kama land, kuna kitu kama motor vehicle, kuna kitu kama shares, si ndio? Si mnasikianga sometimes the shares. Yes. So unasikia Dede Nyoro anasema alinunua share yake ya Kenya Power at 1.9 shillings, si ndio? Nowadays they are trading at 15 shillings, si ndio? So it's again from 2 shillings to 15 shillings. The difference is 13 bob. So 15% of that one inafaa ilipwe kwa serikali, si ndio? So hiyo gari nimenunua kwake 300,000, nikauzia yeye 400,000, I have a gain of 100,000, si ndio? So that one I'm supposed to pay to the government. That is what we refer as capital gain tax. So what is this I have gained in addition to my capital? My capital was 300,000. I have added 100,000, which is my gain, nikiuzia yeye. So that 100,000 I'm supposed to pay to the government. But kuna wakati serikali ilifika hivi ikaona Kenyans we are very dishonest, si ndio? So nitakubali niseme ninunua 300 nikauzia yeye 400. Hapana. Nitasema ninunua 300 nikauzia yeye 320. Kama ni shamba, siwezi nikasema ati ninunua 100,000 nikauza 1 million, si ndio? So that is why the government now have created other mechanism. Kama ni shamba tunaenda kwa ardhi sasa, there is a valuation that is done, then they tax you from that angle. So at least wanaelewa the value of the land, maybe like a particular plot in this area. So ukienda kwa land registrar, utapata kuna something they display there, indicate is a value of plot at least maybe particular area. So wanasema hivi hapa maybe 2 million, si ndio? So out of that one, kuna there is amount they charge. So the government encountered a lot of dishonesty, a lot of problems. Mwingine anasema ninunua 300 sana uza 280. Si ndio? They even demanding some money from government. So they decided to be a bit clever, si ndio? Yeah. So, but that is what we normally refer as a capital gain tax. What you gain from an asset, whether it is a share, whether it's a land, whether it is maybe a motor vehicle, building, all those. And the tax is 15%. The problem is, serikali ilipata mashida. So that is why they don't consider that one. And this one you are supposed to pay before you transfer that particular property. Sidio? Nowadays kama unauza shamba, unaenda kwa ardhi sasa, unalipa tax, ndio the ownership inakuwa transferred. Yes. So hiyo serikali inachukuanga mapema. Kama ni gari, unaenda kwa e-citizen, there is somewhere you pay before you transfer the motor vehicle. Sidio? Kama ni shares, immediately ukiuza, there is amount that is normally deducted by the broker. Inatumwa kwa serikali, ingine inatumwa kwa bank account yako. So hiyo at least serikali inachukuanga. The pinch is not so high as like pay where unaangalia pay slip, unaona mnalipwa 100,000, unaona 30,000 inaenda kwa KRA on monthly basis. But the preacher alituambia aje, we should demand it's our right. But there is exemption to that one. Transfer between spouses. So kama ni you are transferring the property to your wife, but lazima upatiane evidence ni bibi yako, ndio? So in case they demand marriage certificate, ensure iko. Yes. In case it's an inheritance, so maybe you are inheriting maybe from your parents, then you are exempted from paying those taxes. Then we have some companies which are listed where the government don't demand those particular tax. But not all shares which are listed in our Nairobi Security Exchange. So those are the 3 exemptions, but the major one is transfer to your spouse and maybe in aspect of inheritance. So in case you are doing succession, then you are not supposed to pay that capital gain tax. So in a situation where you don't pay your tax, the KRA can generate a demand for you. So ukishindwa to file your return, ama wakiangalia waone the business, maybe you have been filing nil return for the last maybe 5 years. Do you think biashara inaweza kuwa ina-operate for the last 5 or 10 years generating nil profit? Najua sometimes pia hata sisi tunakuanga very clever sana. You file a nil return for the next 5-10 years and the business is still operating. So hata serikali inakaa chini inashuku, inasema ai, wacha tuende kwa huyu mtu tuangalie nini. Yeah. Yeah. So wakienda hapo nje anapata kuna VAT iko packed, wanapata nini? Kila siku anaangalia profile yako, anaona uko Dubai, anaona uko Mombasa. You know some of these things we are posting. Yes. The government currently they are using AI. Sijui hata kama umeona mpaka kwa WhatsApp. KRA iko hapo. Kuna mtu amenoti hivyo kwa yes. Your WhatsApp, the government is there. Kanajiita aje? Ni ushuru. Yes. Kako hapo kanaangalia. In the finance bill of this year, the government have demanded the right ya M-Pesa yako. Your bank account. So MP wako akipitisha so AI will be there. Even Safaricom they are using AI. Sijui kama umenoti hivyo. Safaricom is currently using AI to monitor. And even some of the message tunapata. So we are in the era of AI. So I'm sure maybe by the end of maybe this year, most of you maybe mtajipata umetumua some invoice. Jue unasema sijui nilikuwa Mombasa, mwingine nilikuwa Dubai, mwingine sijui nilikuwa wapi. Now you take all the photos you put there. Yeah, sidio? Yes. The government is also following you. Pole tu through AI. And the AI, maybe those people maybe with young generations, can you ensure that those people they attend those AI classes? Those AI they are also generating a lot of revenue. There is a company that was listed, was it? They were issuing shares the other day. Ni Elon Musk. Mulisikia nani alisikia hiyo kitu ya Elon Musk? They were having a IPO, initial public offer. Ulisikia? Yes. And currently Elon Musk is the first, I think, US dollars trillionaire. He's the first person from those shares vile ziliingia. Those tech, those people who are half young people, kindly ensure they attend those classes of AI. Even you, even me at my own age, I have enrolled in AI classes. Kila mtu acha tuingie huko. Because the artificial intelligence is doing magic. It's doing a lot of magic. But kuna watu wengine sasa tumesema sisi ni wazee sijui nini hatutaki kuingia huko. Tutaachwa tu. Inasaidia mpaka the aspect of tax. The way the KRA is also tracing you. Sidio? So anytime unaenda pahali, you take something, unaenda supermarket, unanunua something, a particular product, which is a luxury, you pay through M-Pesa, the AI is there. The government is there, is watching. Because hakuna vile ati utaenda ununue a particular product, maybe even a sofa set or even a mattress worth 200,000, and then the following day, you are filing a nil return. Is that possible? You have a sofa set worth 300,000, and then you file a nil return. Na AI ilikuona ya KRA, ya Safaricom inakuona, sidio? Yes. So the tax dispute that will arise from this, there will be so many. Sidio? At least tutapata kazi. But istaki mujipate hapo, sidio? That is why I have indicated this aspect of eTIMS. Kindly ensure mumeingia huko. Kama ni employee unalipa, kindly process all their benefit through eTIMS. Kama ni kanisa hapa, maybe you have watchman, you have maybe anybody you engage here. Can you ensure that one is processed through eTIMS? Because in case you process outside eTIMS, you can't be able to claim that one. In case you buy anything, whether it is maybe cement or anything you are undertaking, is a construction here, and maybe you need to claim that one. If it is not supported through eTIMS, then ensure, then the government won't recognize that one. So that will arise to the something we define as tax dispute. So hiyo inatokeanga maybe in a situation where the government inakuja, inaangalia your lifestyle, inaangalia the amount you have been doing return, the way you behave, then inakupatia demand ya like ya 2 million, inakuambia lipa hiyo. Si ndio? So in a situation where you find yourself in a tax dispute, ile kitu itakuokoa ni nini? Is only proper record. Is only proper record. Na kuna kuanga na sheria mingi za Kenya, you are supposed to maintain your accounting record for how many years? 7 years. So ni ngumu sana ati KRA ikikuja kwako ikuitishe document which is older than 7 years. Si ndio? But kuna sheria. You are supposed to maintain your document for at least 7 years. Na sijui kama tunayakanga. Ukipatiwa P9 unayakanga? Anza kuweka. Hiyo ni sheria iko. Yes. For 7 years. Those who are in business, maintain for 7 years. In case church here you have an enterprise, ensure your document you retain them for a span of 7 years. But since we are in the era of technology, then you can be clever, you can create your own policy, internal policy to guide you. Where I'm working, we have created a policy where we can be able to maintain our document electronically. See? Yes. So any document now we require you scan and you attach, such that we archive that one electronically. So anybody coming even 10 or 20 years, we already have the archive of that particular document electronically. Then the others we can be able to destroy. But no, some document you can never destroy them. Kama title deed huwezi ukasema after 7 years nitatupa, si ndio? Kama rogo book nini. So it's only applied to those accounting documents which have originated in the normal business transactions. But zingine where you hold that asset maybe for the next, maybe for a foreseeable future, like this church will be here 100 years from now, see? Yeah. So the current governance of the church, or maybe the leadership here, they will hand over to the next generation. It will be there maybe the mpaka siku ile maybe Yesu atarudi. So there is a roadmap in case umejipata kwa tax dispute. So what you do within 30 days, once the government, the KRA wamekutumia demand, you are supposed to file an assessment objections. Wale wameshaikuwa na kesi kwa serikali, wakili anakuambia enda afanye nini? Ukatae hiyo, si ndio? Yes. Even in the KRA tunakuambia first enda ukatae hiyo, si ndio? So that you have maybe leeway to look for those particular documents. So you first do the objection. So unaingia kwa eTIMS, you do the objections. And I'm hoping as you do that one, ukona the necessary document. So once you do that objection within 30 days, then there is something we refer as alternative dispute resolution. Hata KRA wako na alternative dispute resolution in the area. I know even churches, they normally have the alternative dispute resolution. See, there are those. Kama kuna kitu imefanyika, there is a committee which normally sit down there. Even in KRA, there is that particular committee that sit there. So once you do your objection, create a file for all those particular supporting document. Kama ni invoice uko nazo, maybe kama ni employee umekuwa ukilipa mshahara. So all those supporting document, ensure you have them in their file. Then you can present them to that particular committee. So it's upon the committee now. So there you are allowed maybe to have your legal representative. So you can maybe take your lawyer, or maybe in case you have a panel of lawyers, unaweza enda na wao huko. KRA they have also their panel of lawyers, tax expert, all those individuals they are there. So with that, now you can be able to argue your case. So in case you have the necessary document, then you can be able to win the situation, and the amount that was demanded now can be reduced. In case you don't disagree, you have an avenue where you can be able to do appeal. There is an appeal tribunal. So with that one now, then you can be able to hear your case. But sometimes, kuna hii sheria tunapitisha. So unaweza jipata in a situation where, as you do the appeal, serikali inakuambia, past pay this a particular amount. Sidio? Yes. Hiyo ni zile sheria tunapitishwa through our parliament. With those people, tumetuma huko watuwakilisha. Sidio? So, I'm hoping in this finance bureau, I think there was that aspect which was being incorporated. As an accountant, we have the way we have maybe able to lobby that one. Because I can also have a dispute with the KRI. So in case I have a dispute with the KRI, then I also supposed to demand them they pay a particular amount. See? Yes. So tunasema, what happened to them is also happened to me. Yes. So in case I have a dispute, I'm demanding 2 million, then be a KRI, then first pay me 1 million. The way you expect me, when you have dispute with me, I pay 1 million, then that should apply in both sides. See? So that is an avenue that the government also has given. You can be able to do an appeal. So in case you are successful, hiyo tax inaondolewa. Amua kulipa, sidio? So ignorance in Kenya is not a defense. Si tunaelewanga hiyo? Yes. So in case you don't pay your tax, you don't file your return, na siku imefika 30th June. Siku na watu wajajipata huko. 30th June every year nikiendanga pale KRA, even saa 7 usiku, unapata kuna watu wamepanga line wanataka kufile their return. And sometimes KRA they even allow for 5 days additional. Na hii kitu tulianzianga 1st January 2026. But Kenyans, I think, tuko na hiyo tabia. Sijui nani atatusaidia. Ama hivyo ndivyo tunajulikana. Yes. Tunangoja mpaka the last day. Yes. Hata saa hii ukingoja by 30th June, system ya KRA haifanyangi kazi. Kuanzia 25th haifanyangi kazi. So in case you want to file your return, please make sure you file before even 15th of this month. Si hapo tuko sawa? So I think for me, what I had prepared, I don't want to go too deep into detail because maybe majority of you nimeona sijui kama ni accountant ama ni kofia amevaa. Maybe some are accountant, maybe you might understand the deeper, but for the purpose of understanding, maybe that is what I had prepared for you. But I'm ready to answer the question that might be arise from that one. Yes. know we are Kenyans. So huyo mtu anakuambia hiyo kitu maybe haijaingia kwa system ya serikali, si ndio? So as he buy ilipitia kwa mlango ya nyuma, si ndio? There is a lot of smuggling happening in Kenya, especially electronics. Zile zinaingilia hapa through hii gariza, zinaingia zinajipata hapa Isiri. So you see the way Isiri KRI wamekampu Isiri. Why? There is a lot of smuggling happening there. And most of those goods they end up in our electronic shop. Ukiingia Rudhuri, hao ndio wamejaa huko, si ndio? Yes. So that one is an aspect of smuggling which is illegal in Kenya. So anataka, so he don't maybe, or he or she don't want to charge you the VAT. But in case you insist, he will ensure umelipa hiyo VAT for him be able to recover from you. Yes. So that one it depends with your integrity now. So in case you want government to benefit, then you demand you pay that additional 16%. In case you have to comply with them, that is why the government, this aspect of volume, you know, tax is supposed to be a voluntary thing. Yes. Kuna watu wengi wanatokanga hapa Kenya, wanaenda UK, wanaenda wapi, and they end up not even getting job there. Why? Because huko ukiingia train, nobody is there to check kama umelipa ama hujalipa, sio? But record is maintained. Inajulikana. Yes. Their number, their PIN there, they have a particular number which they know. Then you apply for a job. So now in a particular day you boarded a train, you didn't pay. But here Kenya, in our services, they are poor. So we end up maybe not paying. So that it depends with their integrity. The government maybe has failed us, and we don't feel that an obligation maybe to pay tax. Tulaki kujua the way it was settled. Yes. Tax avoidance, hiyo si makosa, si ndio? Tax evasion ni makosa. Moja, unatorokea kulipa tax na ni obligation yako. Ingine, unaweza zuia kukua tax, si ndio? Kuna watu tunajua maybe mtu akona maybe a particular disability nini, si ndio? So there is a way you can be able to avoid paying some tax. So you register with the people with disability. So when you buy motor vehicle, you pay, maybe you are employed, you don't pay the pay. Kama ni gari, you don't pay those particular obligations. See? Yes. So you can use that avenue where you can be able to avoid paying tax. But you must comply with another particular maybe requirement in the other side. See? Yes. But hii ingine evasion ni kama hii ya 16% anakuambia, in case you pay the additional 16%, nitakutolea nini? Yes. So that one is illegal. So those are the two differences in those aspects. So ingine, you use the legal loopholes that exist. Kama ni kanisa, I don't think you are supposed to maybe to pay tax as you maybe buy some of the assets. I don't know whether that rule still exists. So in case it exists, then it means you register, maybe as a church, then you are able maybe to avoid those particular. So that one is avoidance. You use a particular, there are so many existing loopholes you can be able to use. So with that one now, you can be able to avoid. I think currently kuna, maybe there is a government, maybe inataka some organization waende waka, they establish their operation Gari ama somewhere there. There is some waiver they have created there. In case you relocate your manufacturing company where the uko, that particular side where they are generating the geothermal, sidio? Yes. So they have created that particular avenue. But kama unataka kukaa hapa industrial area, then you don't enjoy that one, sidio? Yes. So moja unafuata sheria, ingine unatorokea sheria. So there is a question. Let me take this one first. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So withholding tax, it depends. Kama ni dividend unalipwa, na maybe those companies go Nairobi Stock Exchange, Security Exchange, their withholding tax is final. But kama umefanya consultancy, the withholding tax is not final. The withholding tax is not final. So what the government do, they want you pay that particular portion in order to ensure that particular person you pay comply. At least wanataka kujua who are these people, maybe they are being paid commission or maybe any other service they are undertaking. Maybe something, in case maybe I was here on a commercial basis, maybe you have engaged me, I charge you, then you are supposed to withhold some money. So that money indicated, I was invited here in Royal PCEA, I offered this service worth 200,000, so this organization withhold 5%. Then as an individual, I'm supposed to pay tax on a graduated scheme, where it is 10%, 15% at the end of the year. The difference now between the amount I received as a consultation fee I charge, I raise the expenses I have incurred, then I'm supposed to pay tax.
So it depends.
So it depends. Some withholding tax, they are final. Like for dividend, what you get in the money market, that is final. But in case maybe it's a consultancy I'm doing, that is not final. In case I am holding a money market as an individual, the withholding tax is final. But as a company, it's not final. I'm supposed to pay 30% at the end of the year. So it's the amount I get from the money market, I raise my expenditure, and I pay 30% to the government. So some withholding tax, it depends with one maybe you are dealing with. Kama ni ya dividend, that is final. Lakini kama ni ya consultation service or those maybe services I'm offering, maybe supply of goods or services, that is not final. I'm supposed to do the annual return, then I pay the remaining amount in case of any. Yes.
So, I have three concerns.
Yes.
One, the issue of government taxation and welfare groups or chamas and the chama treasurers.
Yeah.
We live in a society where chamas are real money movers, and you find group treasurers moving a lot of money through their M-Pesa accounts, and this is not their income. So where does the proposed tax, from your professional perspective, leave these treasurers? And how, what would be your advice so that they are not given demands, tax demands on the basis of money that does not belong to them? Is there a legal threshold for income taxation, especially now for say, civil servants? Kuna kile kiwango sheria inakubali KRA haiwezi pita hapa, in simple terms. And then a scenario where a landlord owns a couple of shops,
and these shops
within KRA net.
Is this landlord
the same as other landlords?
Is this landlord
the same as other landlords?
He owns several stores.
And those stores are business entities who are also filing taxes, does the same 7.5 apply to the income from these shops?
So let me start with that one. So any amount you collect, whether it's one shop or maybe 100 shop, that entire amount you are supposed to subject to 7.5%. Yes. So that is a requirement. So the first question concerning the treasurer, all those kind of things. My simple advice in case maybe it's like church, in case it's a congregation like this one, please church, can you register number? Either kwa Safaricom, with the maybe document you did for registration for this church, saidia the treasurer wa group ya wazee, ya wamama, vijana, get a right. Waache kutumia right. Through AI, they are monitoring those. Hata nimekuambia kwa WhatsApp wako. Those group pali unaokota hiyo pesa hata kama ni ya matatu. They are there. Ushuru inaangalia. So my simple advice currently where we are, can you go get a line? In case for PCEA this Roiro, go get, maybe register maybe like 5 or 10 lines and you give to individual treasurers in those particular area. Sidio? Acha kutumia line yako sahi. So in terms of the other question, maybe you asking the minimum or the maximum amount of tax.
There is an outcry currently.
Yes.
About the levels of taxation.
Yes.
We are almost hitting government 50, the employee 50.
Yeah. There is no threshold. What you are supposed to do, you are supposed to listen to those people manifesto. Hii maneno ya housing ilikuanga, si ndio? Tukasikiza vizuri the current president akisema atakuwa anajenga manyumba nini. But we didn't ask how will you generate this money from? Si ndio? Yes. So there is no limit. Other jurisdiction, they pay more than 60%. The advantage with them is education there is free, medical is free. And by then, in case maybe the government was to take the obligation of maybe medical education, all that you are left with is maneno ya tubo ya mabasi. They can even take 60% half. Hapa hakuna potoro inaharibu gari yangu. I don't think Kenyans have problem.
You can take 60%, but we can see the services being
but we can see the services being offered by that particular.
So that will go there.
So that will go there. Kenya tunaweka the bar. So it is upon us.
The citizens. We have
the citizens. We have the right leaders. Not tunawajua the right leaders, but we end up maybe having the.
So.
Yes.
Yeah, where you exempted.
Yes.
You talked about inheritance and transfer of
to
property
spouses.
to spouses.
Yes.
Now, inheritance. I'm on inheritance.
Yes.
In normal cases, we talk about inheritance when somebody has exited from this ground, and that is a normal situation.
Yes.
But when you want to transfer a property now to your to somebody you like,
yes,
not necessarily your child, because it happens. Are you going to be taxed in that case? That's the other one. To come back is a different one. As Elder has put it, when it comes to collecting money or money passing through your accounts, in some organizations, employers, sometimes they push money for payment of some services through employees' accounts for him to dispense. And I don't know whether it is right, because I will say this personally. I've been there's a time I was working in a border town, and a lot of money was coming through my account, which was domiciled in Ngure, but I was in a border town somewhere near Ethiopia. A lot of money was coming through my account, And I started getting some follow-up from some quarters. Where is this? Because you get what I mean, eh? Because this money was supposed to go and, service to the service providers, to all that, and it was not small money. So when such money passes through one's account, and it was not your money, maybe that time I was able to intervene, and the CEO was able to explain his bit at that point. But what happens in future? Thank you.
So we agreed in Kenya you maintain a record for how many years? Yes. So for me, the simple advice is, so you are supposed to pay Toyota Kenya, see, 3 million for a supply of a pickup, see. So why money comes through my account for me to pay Toyota Kenya? Why not pay direct to Toyota Kenya? See. So where I'm currently working, I also found that particular behavior, and as part of compliance, we shifted from that one. Pay direct. There is no law in Kenya that allow money ipitie kwa account yako, hapana. Pay direct to the service provider. Kama ni Kenya Power, pay direct to the Kenya Power. Yes. And currently we have this aspect of the bank have given us the leeway where you can be able to transfer money through, is it iBanking? Directly settle that particular services. In case you are maybe computerized, you generate invoice and then you transfer that money direct. So don't allow anybody apitishe pesa kwako. For the treasurers now, for those who exist, kindly get number from that particular entity. Come on, something which has been registered, ensure you go to Safaricom, you provide the necessary document, you get Safaricom number for that particular purpose ya kuokota hiyo pesa. Ukipatikana nayo, hii story mingi KRA watasikia.
I want to just confirm in a second that for those of us in the house and civil servants, this question this year, particularly this year, imeumiza civil servants sana because of interests. So you are in an office where you carry interests for other people, and these interests go through your bank account, una withdraw, we unaenda kulipa colleagues kule kwa field. This year KRA is on, and they have got back to, I think they are digging back into about 5 or 6 years. So kutakuwa na disputes mingi sana this year.
So ensure you get the document. You have the supporting document. Kama unabeba maybe DSA for a particular, those people, ensure you get all that right from the memo that was generated. In case was there any invoice that was generated, the way that amount was withdrawn, ensure you have all that particular document. And at the end of the day, in case maybe you are supposed to pay maybe some other service provider, not necessarily in your organization. So ensure those people, you have maybe a place where they signed. Yes. So maintain those documents from your head, such that when KRA comes, you can be able to provide. But in future, don't allow that to happen. Get the bank account of those particular individual, pay them direct. Let them be paid direct. Yes? Tax. The tax exemption, you can inherit from your parent when still alive. But in a situation where maybe I want maybe to gift her, not part of my family tree, that one KRI won't be able to consider. So in case maybe is a child maybe maybe adopted, that one can be considered. In case I have the necessary document. But in case I don't have document, I only maybe have maybe a girlfriend, I want to gift her something, you achana nayo. That one you must pay tax. Acha nichukue yake kwanza. Yes.
So we are using this because your presentation is being recorded and will be shared in the community.
Okay. Good morning, or is it good afternoon already? My name is Faith Kamau, and I have 2 queries. The first one, I got in a bit late, but I heard you say that you should not file nil returns. So as a Gen Z who is not a civil servant and with a job, a real job, you have business. So we are so used to filing the nil returns. So what will do advice for that? And then the second one.
Let me get that one. Kiria kwanza. Let me get that one. Kiria for nil return. Do you have business?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
But it's not registered under KRA.
You have a PIN.
Yes, but I think I'm already paying enough tax kwa supermarket, those things that are mine. Why would I pay more money?
Are you a Christian? Do you obey the God commandment?
I'm a Christian, but I think I'm too taxed.
Yes.
I'm paying a lot of tax, and I cannot really start taxing and paying the government money. That is why we file nil returns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because yet again,
Yeah.
if there are no jobs, why should I pay tax?
No,
Najingangania tu.
as long as you generate something, and the government is providing you security, there are not so many potholes in your roads. Saidia serikali. Na siku ya hukumu pia huko utaipata this particular question. You are supposed to pay this tax. The preacher was here. I hope ulikuwa wakati alikuwa, si ndio?
Kwa kanisa tutatoa lakini
anyway. No, the preacher aliongea maneno give Kaiser to what belong to. So hiyo sitaki kujibu as agency.
The second one.
The second one, yes.
What is the withholding? Okay, when you're told that you have a withholding certificate,
Yes.
to be cleared, what does that mean? Because I had an instance, point last year, where I shared my KRA PIN with somebody in an institution, and the money was passed through my account. Then it's like a commission-based something of that sort. So my KRA was used, but apparently no. And I was going to file my nil returns. I cannot file. I cannot file the nil returns. So I have some withholding tax that was not mine. So how do I go about it?
Were you forced to give your PIN? It's voluntary. So anything imeingia ndani yako na umeruhusu, hiyo ni yako, si ndio? So whether the money imeenda nini. Yeah? So what you can do, have you filed the return? Did you file those return?
I don't know for sure. Because when I went to ask about the filing of the returns,
Yes.
it's telling me that I have
Withholding.
a withholding certificate to be declared.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So how much money?
Not much.
It's not much.
Yeah.
Because the avenue you have with, you can have some expenses which you can be able maybe to offset with that one. Yes. So
Expenses have to be written with the KRA last year.
yes, where the government have given you an avenue, you can be able to file using manual supporting document. Yes. But what really happened to you through those particular transaction, haikuwa kitu halisi, si ndio? Yes. So you can use the same crooked method to clear that one. Or you demand that particular person who passed through your PIN to give you that obligation na ulipe KRA. Si ndio? Yes. And that is what maybe happened. Unakumbuka hii kitu ilikuwa ya NYS. So many people were victims because ulikuwa unaambiwa leta bank account yako unawekewa 10 million, unaambiwa toa 9.5 upatie. So unawekewa 3 million, unaambiwa toa 2.1 point something, maybe unaachua na 100,000. And so many people are tracked through that one. So even this one, that particular person didn't do justice to you. Na alikuwa anajua nini anakufanyia, si ndio? Kwani hakuwa na pini yake? So what he was doing, he was doing tax evasion. So akakuwekelea mzigo kwako. So next time don't allow anybody to mess up with your pin. Yes. Meanwhile anafaa alipe ama atumie the same crooked method to do the evasion. Yes.
Okay, Papias Miano. Mine is just a clarification,
Yes.
two of them.
Yes.
One, suppose all your income throughout the year were those that were subjected to those taxes that are final. Let's say for like interest, dividend from government securities, and maybe you've been filing for MRI, the monthly ones, which is also final. What are you supposed to file at the end of the year?
So
That
in
is
case,
one.
yes, in case
The
you don't,
second one.
in case, let me first. In case you don't have any other obligation, the KRI, the system is allowing you to file a nil return. So in case it allows you to do that one, then you can file a nil return. In case it don't allow you to do that one, you can download the Excel sheet where you put the amount of, there is a particular column, whether it is an income, is a business, dividend, interest, or those. So just go to the right column where you have dividend. Just input the money there. And with that one, it will recognize the dividend amount you received is final. Yes.
Okay. The second one is just a clarification of what Mr. Kuri had asked
Yes.
on capital gain tax.
Yes.
And the scenario where you are transferring a property to a friend as a gift.
Yes.
So there is no money changing hands. So what is the gain in that transaction that will be now subjected to the tax, the 15%? What is the gain, since there is no value to, no money changing hands in that?
Yeah, that is why I indicated the government faced a lot of challenges in enforcing that particular rule. So instead what they did, like the RAD, in case you have to transfer maybe RAD to him or her, the government normally, in case you go to the registrar, they normally have the valuation, the value for that particular RAD. So they use that one to calculate the tax. So in case it is RAD, the government use that value. You give it free, that is okay. Government is not concerned. But that 4%, it will apply and you pay.
You see, my question is, what's the gain? You see, for you to get the gain, which you tax at 15%,
Yes.
there is the buying price and the selling price.
Yes.
That's how you get the gain, which
Yes.
is now subjected to the tax.
Yeah.
How do you determine that gain? When the recipient is not paying anything or not buying,
Yeah.
so you are transferring what you bought at no cost.
From the KRI perspective, they realized Kenyans, they are not honest. So somehow they relaxed that. The law exists, yes, because in your situation, there is no benefit. But since you are Kenyan, and the government also don't trust you, they will subject you to 4%. Whether you give for free, whether you lose, they don't care. But they use the value.
So meaning you'll be taxed at the value of that property,
Yes.
not the gain.
Not the, it is the value now.
Okay. So you end up paying more, higher.
Yeah. So it is part of that one. No. So what normally happens with that stamp duty, it ramps together all those taxes. They just call it a stamp duty. So it is part of that one, that part of stamp duty. So when you go to Niadhi Sasa currently, so you pay through that one and you pay through the value. So the government faced a lot of challenge because maybe what is indicating, and they were unable now to determine what is the value you have gained from that particular property. So kama ni gari, anasema maybe, anasema ninunua 300, nimeuza 280. So hutaki serikali kule kitu, si ndio? So as because of our behavior as Kenyans, then that particular rule ni kama the government ili set aside. It exists, yes, but ni kama serikali iliweka kando, wametumia other method to collect the same tax. So it's not much applicable currently, that rule. Yes, ask.
Thank you. My name is Caroline. There is an aspect that you have brought. I actually was also on the capital gain tax because of the issue of what you talk about succession. If I am inheriting from my parent and then I decide to give to my sibling,
Yes.
so see, I'll have to transfer from my name to theirs. I don't know whether that will apply because I've just heard about spouse. I've not heard about whether sibling, whether pia hiyo nitambua nilipe. Then while you are talking about it, maybe now that will also go to the aspect of law about the stamp duty. Where umesema hiyo zinalipiwa zote pamoja.
Yes.
When this transfer of property, be it a building or built land, who is supposed to pay? The one selling or the one buying? Because why I'm asking this, I'm in a process of acquiring a property somewhere and I'm supposed to pay stamp duty for it. Now sasa nikachanganyikiwa, am I being conned? Because the fact yeye ndo nafaa alipe ama ni mimi nafaa nilipe. And then yeah, I think the other one I wanted to ask, as they were saying, I'm also a public servant. And hiyo mambo ya pesa kutransferiwa to your account, I have had that being done, but this is where I'm now facilitating, because I'm in education, students kuwanunulia snacks and all that, and you ask for the receipt. But you see, for us, we are never given the PIN of the organization for us to generate an eTIMS receipt. So will it affect me at some point that I'm going to be told, hiyo pesa nimeingia hapa supermarket, Quickmart, nimenunua mikate, maziwa, soda, whatever it is, with the 10,000 I was given, the only receipt I have is the Quickmart generated receipt, but not an eTIMS receipt. Will it affect me when I am now going to return the feedback, or should I always be asking for the PIN of the organization? Thank you.
I think currently the government entities, they don't pay tax. Sidio? And we don't also claim. Sidio? So as long as it depends now with the rules in your organizations. So kuna wengine wanakuambia lazima ikue, maybe ikona, it is something generated through eTIMS. So that one is not a must upatiane PIN yako, but lazima ikue. So that one, it depends with the rules and regulation in your particular organization. But that one is not a must ikue, because that's a government entity. So in terms of inheritance, it's not a must mtu akufe ndio inherit. True or false? Yes. So I can inherit from my parents, and also my kid can also inherit from me. Sidio? Yes. It's not a must that nikuwe nimekufa for anybody to inherit from me. As long as they are my kid, I can inherit from my parent, and I can also transfer to my kid as inheritance. So with that one, I won't be able to pay that particular tax. Hakuna. As long as you can prove ni wako. No, your brothers, that one. Yeah? Yeah. No, gift you pay. It's only the inheritance.
In terms of even gifting, even in terms of transfer, you can also gift your friend. But will I pay the capital gain? The CGT will be applicable, and even the stamp duty will be applicable. So to a sibling, it will be applicable. Yes. So we kind of Mariam.
It's only applicable in the line of the family. Anything outside the line of family, because there is no way my brother can inherit from me. They can't inherit from me. No, the best thing you can do in the process of maybe administering that one, can you allow that one to be done at that particular point? So in case you are not interested with that, can you do that one in writing through the chief, all those particular things, and maybe that particular individual brother or sister inherit direct now? So where would you let that particular individual inherit from your parent now? So with that one, hutalipa. But in case ikikuja kwako, then umpatie, hiyo utalipia. Sidio?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you are doing very well. But I would wish, because of the time, we take the last 3 questions. Is that together? Let's see by the show of how many questions. Because questions are generating, answers are generating questions, isn't it? So you don't go into that direction. So let me see by the show of hands how many people
Kuna moja iko pale, ingine hapa. Kuna ingine number 2.
Oh, number 3. I was right. So we take those 3.
Yes.
And then the others can now, we can be able now to do one-on-one. Sindio, si mnaona hata tuko na tumefanya network, sindio? Asante sana.
Okay, thank you. My question is, what happens to us who are signatories in chamas, representing chamas, and a lot of money circulate in that account? We are 4 signatories representing a group, many members, but all the money comes to that account. What happens now?
So, is it a joint account?
Account, yeah. A joint account.
And is a chama? Is it a registered chama?
No.
I would wish, because in the DC's office, if you go there, there is a particular entity that registers those chamas. See? Once it is recognized, then you are supposed to use that particular, I think they give a certificate of registration. So with that certificate of registration, go to the bank, open an account with that particular chama's name. So acha hiyo pesa kupitia kwako, hiyo acha tufunge kidogo, si ndio? Because itakuumiza baadaye. So the best thing, do the right thing. Register that chama. I think it's around through the DC's office or the DO's office, the social service there, which is in the, maybe kitambo ilikuwa the DC's office. So go there, register there. Using that one, enda ufungue bank account. So wacha pesa ipitiange kwa hiyo certificate ya chama.
In Ruiru, it is domiciled at the DC's compound, just next to the law courts. We have that office. Just next to ICPAK office and the law courts.
Everywhere, those offices are domiciled within the DCs.
DC's.
Hiyo ndio ofisi ya ile pesa ya wazee pia. Hiyo ofisi.
Yeah.
Hello everyone.
Yes.
My name is Patrick Maina. This is maybe an opinion from you. If for example, what is an ideal situation whereby the government or want to correct more? Does increasing taxes, I mean the tax bracket, and increasing the taxes, which is the ideal place for government to correct more money? Increase the number of people who are collecting taxes, or increase the taxes? What is the ideal situation for the government?
The ideal tax, the government is supposed to draw the net. Ichukue kila mtu, mama boga, ichukue everybody, boda, iweke yote kwa tax bracket, si ndio? The challenge is, huyu mama boga tutaensure aje amelipa? I'm sure pahali unaishi mama boga anafunguanga kazi from 5-6. Mkienda nyumbani ndio ana katakata sukuma zake nini, si ndio? Huyu mtu wa boda unampatanga amesimama hapo, anachukua customer, anapeleka, anakuja na mwingine. So we will be there to administer or maybe to monitor. This guy ameenda tribu 10, so he's supposed to pay 100 shillings. Huyu mama boga ameuza sukuma 20, anafaa kulipa nini, si ndio? So the government, in the aspect of administration of tax, it is very expensive. Kukuja hapa ni ati, maybe ukienda soko kama hapa Githurai, si ndio? So how will you administer all those people wameweka hizo vitu zao huko chini nini, si ndio? It's very difficult. So that is why the government now end up taxing those people who are already organized in a formal setup, si ndio? So ndio unapatanga you as an employee, because the government inajua pahali itakupata. Wewe kama maybe uko na dividend za through company zile umenunua, maybe sako, all those kind of things, because you are organized, then the government impose more taxes to you. The challenge we have currently is that administration of tax na tabia za Wakenya hawataki kucomply, maybe even the tabia ya serikali, si ndio? So because you are supposed to unalipa SHA, then you are supposed to enda hospitali utibiwe for free, si ndio? So is it happening? So you avoid that is why unaona jenzi wanaamka wanasema hata si hatutaki kulipa tax, ndio? Huyu jamaa anatupatia kazi nje, tukifika huko tunauawa. Si ndio? Yeah. So the ideal situation, yes, it is that one. And it happened to those developed countries, akina UK, US, those people, they are willing to pay tax. They have no problem. You own a kiosk, you volunteer, you pay tax. But hapa Kenya, you volunteer, you pay tax, no services. Sidio? Yes. Just to malizie hii.
My name is Nyambura Mwange.
Yes.
So I had a point of clarification with regards to the capital gains tax, the CGT. You mentioned at the point in time where you pay the CGTs during registration of a property. So I wanted to clarify that there's a new holding by the court. There was a case between LSK, the Law Society of Kenya, and KRA, where the point of contention was that KRA is demanding CGT to be paid at the point of registration, and at this point in time, you haven't even benefited yet. You haven't gotten the gain from the sale of the property. So recently the court did issue a judgment and say that that point, I can't remember which exact legislation it was, but it was declared unconstitutional, and therefore CGT at this point in time is payable upon successful transfer of the property. So there is a period of time that is given, then that's the point in time where you can show that this property was successfully transferred, and that's the time which now you can pay CGT. It's no longer at the point of registration. And then also to answer her question with regards to the sale of property, at what point, whether she's the one to pay for the stamp duty, her being the purchaser, yes, she is the one to pay for the stamp duty. In the transfer of land, the purchaser is the one who pays for the stamp duty, depending on the location of the land. If it's a town area, it's 4%, and if it's out of town, it's 2% of the value. The value can either be the value of the property, as had been done by the valuer. You invite a valuer to your property, and they do the valuation. Or if you've had a sale agreement, there's the purchase price. So they compare the two. Between the two, which one is higher? So they'll do 4% or 2% of the higher price, either of the value or the sale agreement. Yes, that's my contribution.
Najua kwa sale agreement mnaekanga pesa kidogo.
Exactly. So you can have a separate sale agreement to just show ni kidogo.
Pesa ingine unachukua cash, ingine inapitia kwa bank. So ya banki unasema it costed 2 million, but kuna 2 million ingine ilipitia kwa mkono. Yeah, that is why the government, it's somehow clever. In that aspect of the sale of land, nini, who pays what. Majority of us, the way we are being guided by the lawyers is not the right way. Unaenda kwa huyu anakuambia wewe ndio unafaa kulipa, unaenda kwa huyu. Yeah, but whoever purchase ndiye anafaa kulipia hiyo kitu. Yeah. Huyo ndiye akona interest ya shamba na gari, si ndio? So ndiye anafaa kulipia, si ndio? So this one capital gain tax, yes, the ruling might be there, but how many rulings zinafanyanga Kenya na we don't even follow them? NSSF tunafaa kulipa pesa ngapi currently? I think it's 200 shillings. Amujaona communication inatoka NSSF imesema no, you are supposed to continue paying this one, si ndio? Yeah. Because legally you are supposed to pay 200. Yes. But NSSF, they have insisted you are supposed to pay through that distributed scale. But legally you are supposed to pay 200 shillings. Even this one capital gain tax, don't think that the government will relax on this one. They will still continue charging. And they are charging up to now. Yes. So I think with those few, tunaweza fungia hapo, si ndio? Yeah. Maybe I'm hoping next time I'll meet you, maybe in case you invite me through Capital Market Authority. I'll be able maybe to tell you, to educate you on maybe what you need to do for you to start money working for you and to stop working for money through the rest of your life. So with that, I say thank you very much.
Thank you, Daktari. Don't you think we have learned? Yes. Miano? Uko na maoni? Yes? A refresher. See, even those people who need to be refreshed, I think people working in the financial institutions. I think this one is, I don't want to say so much because the chair is here. But I think JPRC is setting pace. Yes. Don't you think so? We have learned. So I want us to appreciate Daktari so much, and this is the way we are going to appreciate him. I've heard people talking about factorial. For those people who went to school those days, they know that one is not. There's nothing like factorial clap. That's a theorem, and theorems are not studied just in public gathering. So, but I want, because you are used to them, allow me to digress there, and we use that, let me just call it factorial, although with a heavy heart, because I did that and I know what it means. So we want to do 5. We want to do 5, and then we move on. Let's start. Let's prepare. Daktari yako wapi? Yeah, very good. So, Daktari, asante sana, as we shall give you, they call it factorial. It is 5 claps, then 4, then 3, 2, 1. I have tried to run that one. So, twende tu hiyo mnasemanga. Thank you. With that, I think I would just want to say that now that we have started this way, we are going to even have more of this. Ama namna gani? You know, in this class there is a student I taught for 4 years. Nataka sasa aseme tu kitu moja alafu anirudishie hii mic. My student, where is she? Oh.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Good morning. God is good. My name is Sarah Wangari, and yes, he taught me in high school for 4 years, physics. Was I a good student? Tulikuwa tunamuita Kush Baba. So anyway, I'm glad to be here, always learning. My background is in finance, but I do biashara. I deal with events and run a bookshop and supplies. So biashara and taxes, of course, it's part of me. And I venture into different parts of returns. Kuna VAT one side, kuna TOT one side. And sikupata chance ya kuuliza question. I don't know if anyone raised it. I think my issue is on the casuals. Ukiwalipa, how do then, if you cannot upload the receipts nowadays? Hizo casuals, hizo utazieka as expenses aje ku avoid the so much taxing. Unaona mtu kama wa transport, boda, cleaners, you know. Yeah, so atanijibu hiyo since kuuliza yangu. Si nimesema kitu?
Simunaona some of my products. Za miaka ile ya kitambo. So I know there are so many questions even now which have not been. I know there are so many questions even now which have not been answered. And because wago no wago, if you have those questions, Daktari, I'm sure he is here. He's going to be with us for maybe the next quite a number of minutes or so. And we also have quite a number of backup here. Amiano is here. My sister is here. My student is there. The legal practitioner is here. We can be able to just interact for the next maybe 20 minutes as we move on. Sawa? Otherwise, I want to really thank you for honoring this invite. We are very humbled as the JPRC, and we can only hope that better things are coming, right? Asanteni sana. I'll welcome Elder, my patron, to just now say something, and then we finish up. And there will be a vote of thanks, and that will be all. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. It's 11:30. That's how much we have utilized time. We never realized time moved so fast because of the many concerns and the many questions that we needed addressed. And I want to appreciate that this was a very interactive session. But for the sake of Daktari and for our chair needs to know who else to pick on what issues, even in the absence of our Daktari. CPAs and finance experts in the house. Ebu fanya mkono hivi tu. Wengine chair wanga wamejificha humu tu. Unaona chair kuna wako wanga tu humu tu. Asante. Wakianza kujintroduce unasikia mimi naitwa CPA so and so, wako humu tu. So please let's utilize them and then be of help to all of us. Sitapitisha hapo because of time. We'll have a vote of thanks but before that, we are here courtesy of the CBM. Financing hii imefanywa na CBM ndio tukaweza kusoma yale tumesoma. And I could see the thirst, our chair, I could see the thirst and the quest for information and knowledge within us. Were it not that we must operate within some time limits, hapa tungekaa sana kwa sababu maswali ni mengi. Swali linaulizwa, yale majibu yanaletwa, yanaleta maswali mengine. And so with your support, you have seen the level of quest for this information and knowledge. We will keep interacting with your office as JPRC so that we create more of these fora for knowledge and information. Nitamuuliza chair aseme mambo mengi alafu tupate vote of thanks and then a closing prayer.